So I'm naturally an introvert. When I started speaking English, it was really difficult for me to talk to others because I would get butterflies in my stomach. My mouth would just shut in conversations because of nervousness. You might have the same problem, but don't worry because today I'm going to share with you 5 strategies that I used and also you can use to speak English with confidence even if you're shy or introverted. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Asim. I'm a polyglot. On this channel, we help you speak English fluently and confidently while enjoying the process. As a kid, I really struggled with confidence because of the sort of environment I grew up in. I would get nervous to the point where I couldn't even ask my high school teacher a question that I had in mind. I would just stay quiet instead. So when I started learning English, it was natural for me to be shy because my confidence was already fucked. The idea of talking to another person in English would terrify me, but I was determined to change. I knew that if I wanted to succeed with English and life in general, I needed to work on my confidence. So I started using different methods and techniques to improve my speaking confidence. Some of them worked, some were just a waste of time, but I'm really going to share with you the ones that really took my English speaking confidence to the next level. The first method is to lower your filter. When we try to speak, we have this weird filter in our mind that is constantly telling us, what if I am saying this wrong? What if this is not the right way to phrase this sentence? What if this grammatical structure that I'm using is not correct? All of these doubts and fears hinder us from speaking freely because instead of focusing on the message, instead of speaking English fluently, we focus on how we are structuring sentences, we think about how we are speaking, we think about other people's opinions, and all of these things hinder us from speaking English freely. Oftentimes, the best way to speak is to say what's on your mind. Like, don't give it a second thought. Don't get caught up in all of these things. Instead, just say whatever is on your mind without worrying about other people's opinions, without worrying about whether you're going to say it correctly or not. I tried this method in my conversations as well. I remember I would just say whatever was on my mind without worrying about it too much. Yes, sometimes I would say something inappropriate or weird, but I would acknowledge that mistake and I would just move on and ignore it and continue speaking. This discussion brings us to the next point, which is nobody cares about your mistakes as much as you do. Like, nobody actually cares about our mistakes when we are speaking as much as we do. Like, you might think in a conversation or in a presentation, like your audience or whoever you're speaking to is noticing every single one of your mistakes. But in reality, they're not. They're just focused on the message. They're focused on the meaning of what you're trying to say. Even in this video, I might have made a lot of grammatical mistakes, but that's okay because that's not important. The message I'm trying to give you, the meaning of what I'm trying to say is more important than the mistakes itself. Everybody is focused on their life. They're thinking about their problems. They're thinking about their situation, rather than so much focusing on you. The next lesson I really want to share with you is that confidence comes from competence. If you want to be confident at something, here is how to do it. Here is the secret. Become so good at that thing that it's unreasonable for you to be shy and afraid of doing that thing. If you're truly good at something, let's say you're really good at football, then you will be absolutely confident at playing football because confidence comes from evidence. The more evidence you have, like the more matches you've played in football, the more confident you will become. I'm confident on camera because I've made more than 120 videos. I have enough evidence to convince my mind to believe that I'm confident, and you need that evidence. Let's say you want to be confident at speaking English, then you need to speak English so many times. You need to have so many conversations in English that your mind think and believe that you're confident. So try this, have 100 conversations in English in the next 100 days and I guarantee you will become more confident at speaking English. The next step to become more confident at speaking English is to get the hell out of your comfort zone. I know you already heard this advice because it's very common, but hear me out. I did a poll on this channel a long time ago. I asked, what's the most difficult skill for you? The options were listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Guess what? Most people chose speaking. Speaking was the most difficult skill for most people. Do you know why? Because it requires you to do something new and challenging. The conversation you will hold might lead to somewhere. Like you might have to tell stories, you might have to answer questions. All of those things makes speaking more difficult than all of the rest of the skills. In the case of English learning, in my opinion, our comfort zone is made up of reading, writing, and listening. Like these are all of the skills and things that we can do from anywhere without feeling nervous and shy. We are always confident in doing these. But when it comes to speaking, it becomes like a little bit difficult. That's why you have to do something that you're afraid of doing. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to challenge yourself. You have to try speaking more in conversations so that you become more confident. Because the easiest way to become more confident is to do something that you're afraid of. Let's say you have stage fear. You can't do a presentation. Well, the easiest way to get rid of that fear, the easiest way to become confident at that situation is to get up on stage many times, do many presentations, and after that you will become more confident. The next step for you is to start small. After listening to my advice, you might think, well, I'm confused. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do to speak English with confidence. Well, let me tell you how you do it. You start small. You take it one step at a time. Don't overload and overwhelm yourself too much. Just do one thing every single day, and that's how you level up step by step by challenging yourself a little bit every single day and by not pushing yourself too hard. Working on your speaking confidence is only one step of the English learning journey. If you want a full guide on how you can become fluent in English step by step in 90 days, then you can watch this video, which exactly explains how you can do that. Okay, sayonara. See you in the next video.